Hey, Insomnia is once again, for like the second week in a row, kicking my ever-loving ass. So, I figured I'd give you my 2 cents on the patch notes. Here they are. Angela, it's kind of a nerf. It's weird. She got nerfed and buffed. I think that not being able to charge as much, but charging more. She charges more. She doesn't charge as often, but it also takes longer for the charge to build up. I think that's fine because, it gives her more of a neutral. Right now, she had the same loop of you go and you pull someone, you fight them, you go and you pull someone, you fight them. There was never anything to do outside of that, and I'm hoping that plus the buff to her axes gives her a reason and something to do outside of that main loop. Captain America buff, yeah, that's good. When leading to... See, I think the shield buff is good, but I don't know if it will throw, like where he throws the shield and your sprint will no longer cancel that if it's on toggle. I think that's good, but I think it removes the ability to automatically do the animation cancel. Oh wait, never mind. Animation cancel is done with normal melee, not with that. So yeah. Deadpool Vanguard. It's fine. It's a fine nerf. It's just kind of a bonk on the head. Because they go by numbers, so even though he is probably one of the strongest tanks in the game, people like me, because the majority of people who use them are going to be my rank and lower, because even GM3, when I hit it, it was like over 95% of people. I was over 95% of people, so 95% of the people who play the game are below GM3. They're not going to be putting up crazy numbers on tank pool, which means, because they won't have the aim, they won't be able to do, like, eviscerate tanks by pressing E and then spamming pistols into them. Even I can't do that, and I play most days of the week. So, like, I understand why when you look at the numbers they don't want to nerf him, but just the damage reduction isn't really going to do much. Doctor Strange, just kind of a bonk on the head. I still don't think it's going to change him, but I don't think he really needed a huge nerf. The only nerf that he should get is to his, like, team up. Only nerfs or buffs he should get is to his team up, because I think outside of that he's in, like, a really good spot. Emma Frost, it's kind of a nerf and a buff. If they're reducing the damage reduction, I would have wished that they took 1 or 2 seconds off the cooldown of Diamond Form, because right now she's in this weird spot where she's balanced, but because she's balanced, you don't really play her often, and when you play her, at least in my experience, when you play her, it is simply to counter dive, and then you can only counter dive once every 20 seconds, instead of being able to use it as an engagement tool or as a tool to make space. And now they're reducing the damage reduction, which means it's going to be worse at that. But the buff to the ultimate is better, because if they were at 30 meters away, sure, you won't... Oh, now you do less damage at 30 meters, but if they were 30 meters away, you kind of weren't killing them with it anyways. So it's fine, I guess. The 20% damage reduction is going to be really good, though. Hulk, I think this is pretty good, right? It means his shields, I'm pretty sure this means his shields give him more ult charge than they typically do, which means he'll be in his ult more often, and since that's the only good or threatening part about his character, that's a good thing to do. And then the Gamma Burst, his collapse, that's going to be really interesting to see how it works. I cannot wait to see how that works. Actually, I can wait. When there's really good Hulk players in my game, sometimes I get mad, because then I can't play any tank that'll get insta-locked, like stun-locked, and then if he gets his ult even faster, he's gonna get extra stun-locked, and it'll be fine, though. The Mag buff, I don't think it makes him any better, but it also doesn't make him worse, right? Because he becomes better, but only for himself. he becomes worse at protecting his teammates, and only in any rank that's not like celestial or above, or even like where you have really good coordination, because it feels like you really have to capitalize on that self bubble now. And then the speed boost on his ultimate, that's probably going to be really good. Really, really good. I can't wait to see how that one looks in action. Well, that's pretty much it. I think at high ranks it becomes way better because you're already coordinated. You're probably not using your bubble every 12 seconds off cooldown. It's having it up to 15 probably won't do it, but it's really going to help his self-sustain. But any rank lower than that, it's probably going to mess you up those extra 3 seconds, but you do become better at self-sustain. Black Panther, nothing burger of above. I've never played Black Panther, but when I've seen people play Black Panther, they've never complained about that thing being off cooldown. Blade, I like how they mentioned that there's going to be no funerals for the Daywalker. They fucking stalk the internet. But all of these are really good buffs. His shotgun essentially becomes easier to land hits on. His sword becomes longer range. He can have bonus health, but only if he hits full health. So it's like overshield. It's overhealing, essentially, if you want to think of it that way. And then he heals more from lifesteal. And then his ultimate ability, it now does more lifesteal, because it used to do less than Venom's ultimate, and Venom got it after him. It used to be Blade's unique thing. Now it actually does a reasonable amount of healing reduction, and then you don't have to switch to Bloodline Awakening to get lifesteal from it, and that lifesteal will convert, so you can use it and use your gun form to pressure and like keep them in there. So I think that will be good. I've only played Blade a few times just to test him out, like when he first came out, but I'll figure it out. I think Daredevil kind of got his kneecaps bashed in, but only a little bit. Devil's Chain end damage 35 to 25. Chain bonus health, max bonus health 125 to 100, and then Sonic Pursuit damage reduction from 20 to 10%. They kind of did everything, whereas typically I would have been of the mindset that you don't need to reduce his survivability and his defense and his attack power, just choose one or the other, so that way he specializes in something. They kind of nerfed him in both areas, and I think they kind of shot him in the kneecaps for it, but we'll just have to see, because I think there's still enough grace built into his kit that it won't be that big of a problem, because 10 less damage is going to be more of a problem than the survivability nerfs, if that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get at. Deadpool, Duelist, his base health increases and ultimate ability charge increases. Now, all of the Deadpool's ultimate ability charges increased. That's just to keep it on track with I said in the Dev Vision video that, oh, blah, 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 I said in the Dev Vision video. Ult charge, you get it slower. Elsa Bloodstone, but otherwise that Deadpool, that's a nothing burger. Elsa Bloodstone, it's a nothing burger. You lose 2 stacks on getting KO'd instead of 1 stack. Oh no, it doesn't deplete over time, so it's still really not very punishing to do it, to like die in it. Reckless Pursuit and Helix Advance from 40 bonus health to 30. Like, that's 10 less health. I'm never going to play Elsa Bloodstone and go, oh shoot, if only I had 10 extra health there. Really doesn't do anything. They're really just saying, oh, but we don't want to nerf you again. The only way to really nerf Elsa Bloodstone and keep her engaging is, increase the spread and the fall off, make her shotgun an actual fucking shotgun. Right? That's the only way to do it, because genuinely, she has abilities that don't make sense unless you that don't make sense unless she's supposed to have a real shotgun and not a Psylocke shotgun that's better. A better Psylocke shotgun. And I've been trying to say this for a while, but I don't want to make an entire video saying the same thing over and over again. Like, when she places the trap, if someone gets caught in the trap, you're able to dash to them. Why? There's no reason to. Doesn't prime your elephant gun. I don't think it gives you bonus health, and even if it does, you have a 2-second bonus health countdown on your shift. Why would you ever dash at them? There's no reason to, because shooting them in the head from exactly where the dash isn't very far, just enough to take you all the way up to them, but your headshot damage is the same from before you did the dash, and there's very little spread, and there's very little fall off damage. So why would you ever dash to them? If you had an actual shotgun, there's a reason to do it. Now, then you ask about, well, what about the elephant gun? Elephant gun does the same amount of damage as her normal gun and cannot headshot. So what is the point of that existing? Well, the point of that existing is so that way when you use your abilities, you can use them out and still poke from a distance. It's why there's a timer on how long you can use it, whereas right now you kind of don't wait, you just press the button. You pierces everybody, you farm your ult charge off of it, and then it's the same amount of damage as your normal shotgun. It doesn't interrupt the flow of your shotgun. There's no thinking behind it. Like, what? It's stupid. It looked like she was going to be a high combo diver character with a shotgun, like how people want to play Shotgun Punisher, and like then they dive with Shotgun only Punisher. You do the same thing, but with Elsa, and she's made to do that, and she doesn't do that, right? This is a nothing burger of a nerf. Hawkeye, nothing burger, just reduces base health. Human Torch, instantly recover all of his ammo if he's not shooting for 1 second. Could be could be minuscule, or it could be huge. I don't play enough Human Torch anymore to know the difference. Iron Man, I think this is goated. I don't think it's the buff he needed, because he's still going to be a big-ass clunky hitbox that floats in the sky and either stands right behind his tanks holding right click, or sits 5 miles back in the sky holding left click above his team, from above his team. But they are really good. He starts up, he's less vulnerable when starting his amped state. Now when getting KOs in the amped state, it increases the duration by 2 seconds. I think that's pretty good. I don't think it's exactly what he needed, but I don't think you can give him what he needs without making him broken, so I think this is fine. Magik, I think this is fine, but honestly, I don't understand it. If you play Magik and you get what this means, because I know like Darkchild startup, okay, she gets into Darkchild faster. She doesn't have iframes, so that's fine. Normal Magik / charge damage ratio. I'm pretty sure that's the right click, so it does 9 less damage at full charge. Maybe that messes up some of her combos. I don't know. I don't know what any of this like actually means in gameplay wise, which is strange because I have the most hours in Magik out of all the DPS, because she's the first one I wanted to play, and I realized it was too hard for me. I could not do it. I was really good at Brawl Magik, but I was never good at like Dive Magik, where you go and you kill support instantly and you get out. But I was able to weave in throughout the combat back to my team, back to the front line, and like just dive and brawl out, but that was never good, and I can only do it in quick play. So anyways, Psylocke, increase the cooldown, so when you do damage, when you do damage with your left click, it takes time off your cooldowns. They increase the speed of that, and you do more damage with the right click shurikens. Kind of a nothing burger if you look at the actual numbers, in my opinion. Scarlet Witch, this is actually very big. Increase the damage, introduce fall off, which means your positioning has to be even better to get value out of it. Now you get your right clicks more frequently. I think that's actually pretty big. She's not an instantly just pick her, choose one character, press one button the entire game and win. Winter Soldier, less splash damage. Thank God. They should probably just remove it from the game entirely, in my opinion, but whatever. Strategist, Deadpool, I said Deadpool gets his thing up. Gambit, okay, so Gambit his ultimate no longer charges your ults as fast, and you're no longer as fast. But when you're playing it, the 30 to 20% damage boost ultimate gain boost will be noticeable, but not because of the 30 to 20%, because of 20% slower ult charge all around. So when you have it, now you're just charging your ult roughly the same amount of speed that you normally would be. But reduced movement from 40 to 50 to 40%, that's not going to be a noticeable enough difference to feel. I guarantee you when I'm playing the game, I'm not going to go, wow, I feel noticeably slower in this Gambit ult. It's just not going to happen. And then increasing additional single target explosive damage from 20 to 25%. Not needed. You did two things that aren't going to be noticed that much, and then said, yeah, we'll give him a damage boost for it. What? What? Like, sure, they're nerfs, and sure, they're good moves in the right direction, but those aren't really going to be felt. Maybe at the higher levels they are, but I don't play up there. Most of the people who play this game don't play up there. I guarantee you the people who watch this video are not eternity or above. They don't watch shitters like me talk about this game. You're never going to feel it. Invisible Woman. I actually really like the Invisible Woman nerfs and buffs. Your shield heals you for less, so that way you can't just stand by it and do it and just like weave in and out and heal super fast. But your healing over time while invisible is higher, which means to self-heal super fast, you have to be out of combat. You can't just stay in combat and stay self-healing the way the Lord intended it to be originally. I think that's a really good change. I think she will no longer be a raid boss. I think her ultimate is still way too good. It does slowdown, it does invisibility, and it does immortality. But, whatever. Luna Snow. I don't know. I don't know on the Luna Snow one, because part of me thinks I could just put it on Moon Knight. And then Moon Knight's dealing damage to everybody. I put it on Moon Knight. They start just spraying the entire enemy team. I hit clap, and I hit the clap button, and I'm shooting straight through their tanks. As soon as you hit that button, it starts the cooldown for that ability. Last I checked. So I'm helping getting kills. Moon Knight's doing damage to everybody, which means he's going to get kill credit. And if he gets kill credit for it, because it says whenever they take part in a KO. Not whenever they get the final hit, whenever they take part in a KO. And then you're just going to have the claps off cooldown by the time that you're done clapping. But in order to do that, you kind of need a team wipe. So I don't know. Like, when I think about it and I brainstorm it, it sounds pretty fucking overpowered. But then I think about it from a numbers sense. And I don't think it is. Because you would need to kill the entire team to take it fully off cooldown, or at least 3 people, and by that time you've already won the fight, so is that even that much of a buff? I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about that one. The Atom and Storm team up, it's fine. It's cool. It's actually an interesting team up, not just, oh, new ability. It changes the way Adam can play the game, especially after changing the way he plays the game with that new flight mode. It doesn't look like it's going to be overpowered like Jeff the Landshark was when it first came out. The Jeff NATO, or like how Luna and Adam team up makes Luna damn near unkillable. The Blessing of Kumio, I didn't really understand how that one worked, to be honest. It looked like she just shot something that was like her claps, but it was worse. Didn't do considerable amounts of damage, didn't do considerable amounts of healing, and gave her a small little speed boost. And that doesn't seem like it's that good. It just seems like something you just use off cooldown just because I need something to do off cooldown. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the balance takes on the balance in this. Those are pretty much my thoughts on the patch notes and how I think they're going to affect the game and whether I think they're good or bad. If you watched it all the way here, why? I'm so tired I can barely speak, but I can't fall asleep. Why are you watching this shit? I don't even think half my sentences are legible. But you know what? Thanks for doing it anyways. I love you. Subscribe. Maybe. If you do, I'll see you next time. Wet Willy. Wet Willy. Woo-hoo.